are these people?
Let's check out what's going on in Hawaii. It becomes more and more relevant, especially after like 9/11 too. You begin to realize that conspiracy theories start to become conspiracy facts after a certain amount of time. Here's a thread, Kimber Maddox really hones it in altogether. But this is the first one. So now we're the death total, I believe, is like 111 at this point. There's people on the ground that are claiming like thousands, hundreds, thousands. And
if you don't know what's going on in Maui, we're just being completely devastated right now. The last 4 days, I've been non-stop just working around the clock, trying to get supplies for people, trying to get the supplies to the people, working at the shelters. It's just, I'm safe and my family is safe and my dogs are safe. Last night they said the death toll is 80. It's not correct. They're not reporting. I don't know why they're not reporting it correctly. There's at least 600, if not thousands, of people who are dead in the streets, floating in the ocean. There's over 3,000 homes that have been burned to the ground. There's no help here on the ground. All it is residents pulling together. My whole entire truck is full of supplies right now. Just residents going to the store, going to Walmart, going to Costco, buying as much as they can, driving it straight into Lahaina. I went there last night and there was a fire that started and we got so scared we weren't able to drop off all the supplies. But there was flames that we saw and we were like, we just have to get out of here. It's so awful. The people who were able to evacuate Lahaina and get out, they're at the shelters, and the shelters are just a mess right now. They're so disorganized. We don't have anyone from any organizations helping. I think Red Cross is here, but it's just so unorganized. No one knows what we need. It's awful. And the people that are still in Lahaina that we're not able to evacuate, they don't have gas in their cars, they can't leave. Some people are just holed up in their houses, waiting for someone to come knock on their door and give them supplies. They don't even know supplies are like being distributed at the docks in Lahaina. And it's getting so bad in Lahaina. I never thought this was gonna happen, but there's people going into like other people's homes trying to steal their stuff, I heard that the people are being held at like gunpoint over there. I'm doing everything that I possibly can. I've literally been working nonstop the past 4 days, but it's like, where are the trained officials? We're not trained to do this. Like this.
Yeah, so you can't help but really feel for the Maui people right now. Whatever.
Well, and I think it was. Oh, sorry.
What's going on, buddy?
I think it was later in her video that she mentions that, tourist groups are still arriving. People are still trying to come and get their money's worth out of trips that they had booked. And she said they're, still recovering bodies from the water, and there are like snorkeling tours coming in and stuff they're still trying to just force the commerce and the business to take place in this place that's, just still a disaster zone.
Yeah, and I'll show that later. The realtors pretty much came right in and swooped in with their money.
The ground was still hot, and they were calling people about their land.
Yeah. So this, they're literally surviving in the water as they're watching their hometown getting burned down. If this is not like terrifying, this is. So Biden is basically he's asking for his own Katrina. He wants his own Katrina, I guess. It's my dog was scratching, but absolutely horrific. Absolutely horrific. This is another one in this thread here.
But I need you guys to hear me out. You don't see what's going on. I feel something.
Just to be clear, the official truth from the governor, John Green, come here. The official truth is climate change due to dry, wetlands becoming dry, growing weeds and stuff that easily catch on fire or like really flammable. Okay. Yeah, I believe that. There's definitely like a sense of, I'm not denying the sense of climate change, but it just that's not even the conspiracy part of it. It's the fact, like how you mentioned before, how greedy capitalists and colonialists are coming in with money, and that's not even that's the whole conspiracy right there. Like you don't even need to connect everything else. Everything else is just a plus, isn't it?
Exactly. Well, I mean, even the governor said we're looking at ways to acquire this as state land, and like those are people's homes. That's these are people's property that you're talking about. That obviously realtors are super interested in, and the idea that they already have these plans for it. It just at the very worst, it's awfully clandestine. At the very least, it's just predatory vulturing. That it's not like that's not our bag. We are a nation of vultures, but
that's not even to mention the colonial history of Hawaii itself.
Oh, exactly.
I mean, that land is stolen as it is. It's already stolen. They're just kind of dealing with it with us, with them being an American colony for the past 50, 100 years, and they're just sort of dealing with it now. But now they're like literally. I mean, there's charges that this could be arson, and I'll show that too. I mean, there's actually an AP article right here where it says Lahaina residents worry about a rebuilt Maui town on the hands of affluent outsiders. So it's kind of like in the face of everyone. It doesn't really seem like it's like now.
Well, and part of it too, like they said, if they can chalk it up to climate change, if they say, well, this is something we think is going to continue to happen, then insurance companies are going to stop giving you insurance, just like they're doing in California here with wildfires. That all of a sudden it will be either too expensive to rebuild your home, especially with your measly $700 check, if you qualify, or it's just not something they'll allow you to build on anymore. And they go, sorry, this is going to become state land. You can't. This is no longer residential. It's too dangerous. Wildfire risk, climate change, tough shit. Get out of here. Which again, we would totally do. That's right in our playbook. Yeah, it feels so premeditated. This is obviously land that everything else that they could buy up around it has been bought up, and these people have dug in their heels for a long time. And it's I don't know. I don't want to go full tinfoil hat.
I mean, listen, I'm not willing
like you said, we have a long history of continuing to force subjugation on people we've already colonized, and it totally seems like something we would do to either force or allow something like that to happen. Swoop in, get the land, and give them a measly 1.9 million. And
whatever that is, whether it's like direct energy beams or like colonialism through like capturing wetlands,
the outcome is the same. That. Yep.
It's exactly like I said. The outcome is exactly the same.
Yep.
Here are some interesting facts that you should know. The governor, emergency management admin, fire chief, lieutenant governor, and attorney general were not on the island at all when the fire broke out. So two most critical emergency officials were AWOL. The emergency alert system, which Hawaii is supposed to have like the most robust alert, like alert system in like the country or something like that. Tulsi talks about this. The emergency alert system was not activated, and there's 400 sirens in the entire state. The only system they activated was cell phone alerts, which is basically like the what's those the Amber alerts that you get on your phone. That's basically all they got. With many residents reporting that they had zero warnings. Many officials told them they'd be safe. I read a story where there was about like they had like all the kids in this like high school go home, and like that's like where all the fire was, so they all died. Like 98 kids died because they told them to go home. It's like crazy. So,
and again, when I lived in the Florida Keys, after we left, a really major hurricane hit shortly after, and when it wipes out a place where a lot of people are living in trailers or homes that they've kind of added on to over the years, the Keys are a really expensive place to live anyway. And when you lose everything and can't afford to rebuild, you leave. And sure enough, the storm happened, and within weeks, people's rubble that was their home is being torn down and condos are going up in its place. People swept in and a whole bunch of fucking condos came and went up, and, you know, new resorts and restaurants and shit like that. And now there's even fewer places to live. And now you're paying, you know, if you find a trailer now, it's fucking $3,000 a month. It's $2,500 a month for, you know, no utilities. Like, it's
worse than that. You're better off buying like a Barbie house.
Right.
For a dog show.
Exactly.
Yeah,
suddenly those old play school backyard houses are looking pretty sweet. To think I let one of those go for $5 as a garage sale when I was a kid. Like, what was I thinking? That could have been my nest egg. I fucked up.
Yeah, the lack of assistance from the federal government is that really just tells it all about the face of the US government and how we're giving billions to Ukraine and simultaneously literally like a state of a country is burning.
Yep.
Arrive, and then nothing was sort of happening. We were just in shock.
But what was that tipping point for you when you realized government is not going to be able to respond the way locals can?
So when I started getting texts and messages from friends on the other side saying, hey, no one is here. Do you know anyone you can
This is why we need mutual aid networks now.
Yep.
call? Can you help us? And it started off with really being boots on the ground. Okay, let's get the jet skis. Let's get the boats. Let's call friends who fly commercial aircraft and see if we can charter a plane. We just took it upon ourselves, like, okay, we could probably do a full day to hold our friends and family over before the, you know, caravan arrives with everything. And it was just like day after day. Where are they? I haven't seen, you know, one state, one county, one federal official at any one of the donation hubs where people are most suffering. People are sleeping in their cars. People are asking for specific items now.
What does it look like at these places that are hard to get to for the public and you've been able to get to, the distribution centers? What are they like?
It's pretty remarkable seeing communities come together. I mean, these distribution centers, some of them are very chaotic because they're bringing in supplies from the ocean. There's also some very well organized areas, and you could tell everyone's trying to accomplish the same thing.
So the federal government says they're here. FEMA says they're here. Small Business Administration, the National Guard. There's been a response from Maui County, from the governor. It's very hard for anyone sitting where I'm sitting as a journalist to evaluate the response because it's closed to the public in Lahaina.
As soon as you go to the west side, all of a sudden you're like, wow, why do I feel like I'm in a third world country right now? You could go to any one of those hubs on the west side of the island and you can ask everyone there. And they'll be like, oh, we haven't seen anyone. No one came to talk to us. No one's come to assist. I wonder if the state, county, they believe we're doing such a good job, they don't need to step in. But a lot of these volunteers have been going all day, all night for 5-6 days now and are exhausted and are waiting for a handoff or at least a break. The Hawaiian people, the locals that have lived here, they just always feel like they're the last to be thought of. And they're like the foundation of it.
I don't know what the federal government's response.
Any comments on the rising death toll in Maui?
Will you come talk about the Hawaii response, Mr. President?
Nothing there.
Can you imagine being a so like you're in multiple like you're in multiple running scandals right now. The 55% of people are against funding the war. East Palestine. It keeps on going on, and that's the no comment strategy is really perfect for 2024. I really feel like that sums up his campaign.
Yeah,
pretty well.
And it's such a softball. All you gotta do is say it's absolutely devastating. Me and Jill's hearts go out to blah 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 blah. That's such a fucking softball pitch, and you can't even be bothered. That's, to me, that's not accidental. That's just this old bigot getting a chance to just be like, oh, what, Hawaiians, and then go inside. You know, that's how I interpret his actions anyway.
So then, I feel like at this point, it's just only fair to start asking questions like this one.
Well, you know, a video was going around today that some people had taken who were at one of the aid stations, and there's this long line of people in this field, and a police cruiser pulls up, and the guy gets on his megaphone, and he tells people we're shutting it down, and people are like, what the fuck? There's just this roar of, chaos, and he's just like, powers that be got the orders, we're shutting the station down. And again, that's just one more glaring thing stacking up of this isn't just neglect, this is willful ignorance and or hampering of relief efforts for these people.
No, it is weaponized negligence for sure.
There you go. That's
and let me find this tweet because that is a very powerful one. Let's play a little bit of this.
I have been trapped in Lahaina for the last 4 days, and I experienced firsthand what was going on there. What I went through is not important. I need to get this message out. This was not a natural disaster. This was a direct energy attack on the people and the place of Maui.
I didn't say that. She said that. I'm not saying.
I didn't hear it.
Direct energy weapons. She said that, not me.
Yeah, that's.
If you know,
she lives there.
What lives there, what descendants live there, you know why, and you know why it happened on 8/8. And if this is not something that you believe, it's time to stop being a sheep. They came in and they took control. There were trees standing and the buildings gone. This system, this weather system, came in from the mountains, from the east. That does not happen. They were not telling people anything. They were not letting people in to help. And they were letting people go in to get burned alive. There were people burning alive in the streets. There were people dead in the water. There were hundreds, if not thousands, of people that died. What they're telling you in the news is not true, and I lived it firsthand. I sat with the people. This is not to bring fear, this is to educate, because there is darkness that is being hidden. And soon people are going to see. I know now why Gaia sent me there. And I am going to use this platform. There was no warning. There was no nothing. Please boost this post. I want everybody to see this. I don't give a fuck about me. I want everybody to see this. What they're telling you in the news is not what happened.
So just for context, it looks like there was this got community noted. It says the officer was announced his suspension of a trade card system that would have allowed limited access to the disaster. Unqualified individuals would kind of be. All I know is the order has come down to shut down the distribution of these placards. All right. I've just been informed that we are shutting down this placard distribution as of now. Please, there are powers that be. I'm not sure of the reasoning. All I know is the order has come down to shut down the distribution of these placards. All right. Yeah, so not exactly the most settlement shit. This is my question, so I happen to get some of the damage. And again, I'm not trying to I'm just asking questions. Okay, I'm not conspiracy theorizing or anything. I just want to know. I genuinely want to know. Why are all those cars okay? looks like that because you can't get out of that. You can't drive out of it. They didn't drive into there. So what happened? The fire just jumped over to those cars. You can see it's all like cars burned to a crisp, and then there's like
of them, yeah.
this row of cars that are just fine. That was. I just want to know. I'm just asking for a friend.
You know, if you bust out Occam's razor during any of these potential conspiracy moments, it leans heavily in favor. If you ask yourself, like, would these people have something to gain? Have we done this kind of shit before? If the answer to both of those questions is yes, then there's very, very few things I wouldn't put past our government. You know, wealthy people that want land, fucking whatever. It's very hard to present me a scenario that I can say I absolutely don't believe that's possible. Like and I would argue that that's me being way too much of a realist as opposed to being gullible.
This is just about asking questions. We just want to know what's the bottom of this. This is from 8 years ago.
Why can't we pull energy out of thin air?
No matter where you go around the world, reducing our impact on the environment and decreasing our dependence on fossil fuels is on everyone's mind. But how do you do it in a way that's going to benefit the most people? That was the question Hitachi asked before initiating the Jump Smart Maui project. This initiative demonstrates how electric vehicles, smart grids, and renewable energy like wind and sun can benefit Maui's residents, and it underlines the positive impact that Hitachi is making on the environment.
It's our future.
That's our future, baby. I happened to catch this last night or 2 nights ago. But this was this is John Pelletier. If you don't know the Las Vegas shooting, that's some sketchy that's some sketchy shit happened there. You could just go on YouTube and have a blast. Go into that rabbit hole if you want. This is him. And
do it. Go down it.
He's
ride the snake.
They're already admitting to arresting witnesses who come close to the scene. So, like, if you're looking for like your grandmother or your son or something like that, they're gonna arrest you if you come anywhere close to the scene because they need to do. I don't know exactly what, but they said they're gonna do it right. Listen to them.
That's the reverence. That's why we can't have you walking down there.
Reverence.
And we had to arrest somebody for trespassing. And so if we want to keep doing this and slowing it down, keep doing that.
Keep doing it. Keep doing it.
Do a Freedom of Information Act and figure out who that person is. Tell that story.
So he just said do a FOIA request on that guy, dox him, figure out all his information, and he just told the press to do that. He gave the instructions to the press on what to figure out this guy who just got arrested by it.
We're going to do this right. We need you so much. If you're a family of somebody missing out of state, we need you to contact the.
It's just shocking the kind of shit that you're seeing on the ground from like TikTok. Like this is like one of the good things about TikTok is having stuff like this.
Congregated,
right?
Gathered supplies, use their own vessels to transport the goods from point A to point B. The government took it away. The government took it away. Realtors are contacting people whose homes just got burned down. Tourists are swimming in the beaches that our family and our fucking friends had to fucking escape to, and you're just gonna fucking dive in there like a tragedy didn't just fucking happen. All of you make me fucking sick.
Absolutely.
You make me sick and you make me regret being alive on this fucking planet.
I don't know about you.
As soon as the locals congregated, gathered.
I am personally able to believe that our government is evil enough to purposely destroy Maui for profitable purposes. I don't think that's really that far of a stretch. I mean,
no way.
How many more 9/11 papers do we need?
Right.
I'll share this one last video.
Yeah.
I just wanted to come on here and say, do not believe what is being told on the news. 86 casualties is not true. The actual count is estimated somewhere between 500 and 1,000 people. People were not informed except for 5 minutes before they had to evacuate. And this was via a cell phone message, an emergency alert. Our town has evacuation sirens for tsunami installed that are working, actively working, and they were not sounded. Children home from school while their parents worked. Our kapuna who only have access to landlines. These are the people that they're pulling out of houses right now. That they're pulling out of rubble.
Yes, you don't really need to get too deep into the woods here to understand that there's something going on.
Maybe it's different for you because you just got here, huh? So it's not the same.
Here's the please keep paying your fucking
No comment?
Sorry.
No comment right now, guys. No comment? I'm talking to the chief, sir. Yeah. Why doesn't he want to speak to the people? Only to a camera. You can do your statement later. No, we called up.
I'm sorry, if you're willing to walk like that, ignore any sort of constituents. You have to be a heartless, like, really dark.
Well, I mean, he's a cop.
Yeah.
Why are you shaking your head? Why are you shaking your head, sir? You don't want to answer, huh? Okay.
We'll talk to you another time, guys.
Yeah. You won't talk to us another time.
Yeah, we'll talk to them. We'll talk to them.
Howard they move.
Shocking.
But you're not from.
Well, not shocking at all. Not really shocking at all. All this is developing. I have more. I could go all night with those videos. They're endless on Twitter and TikTok.
Yep.
So this is an ongoing thing, but there's a lot of questions. There's still no real answers and still no federal help. It's he's asking for a Katrina. He wants his own Katrina.
Mm-hmm.
He wants his own public environmental disaster to
At least Palestine wasn't enough, apparently.
Terrible, his terrible fucking legacy.